Okay, so for this video, we are going to discuss example 6 and maybe also example 7 and the last example for this chapter. Okay, so for example 6 it is taken out from past year question 2011. Then maybe you can have a look for all the details first. So there's a compound X is formed from two compound Y and Z. The masses in the gram of X, Y, Z are presented at time t seconds. So here there's one variable that you should know, which is t seconds after the start of the reaction are x, 10 minus x, and also 20 minus x respectively. So here you need to know that the x here actually means the mass of x, component x, compound x. Then this one is actually compound y, and this is compound z, the mass of compound z. So you have to read the question very carefully to understand what is the meaning here. Okay, so at any time, the rate of formation of x. Alright, so again, rate it should be something over dt, formation of x. So form, when something is formed, that means the mass will increase, right? Therefore, this word tells you that it should be a positive, okay, rate. And then again, you will see the word proportional to the product. Product means multiply of the masses of y and z present at the time. So this is the information given here. So for the first part of the question, they want you to show that x and t satisfy the differential equation shown this one. All right, so how can I get this equation from the paragraph given above? Okay, all right, so let's start. So first of all, we are looking at this rate of formation of x. So rate of formation of x means that it should be dx over dt. Okay, so because of the word formation, you should know that it is increased in mass. All right, proportional means k, the product of the masses of y and z. Masses of y should be 10 minus x, masses of z should be 20 minus x. Then product means multiply. Okay, multiply y and x z together. So y is here given, z is given 20 minus x. Okay, then after that, because of t equals to 0, x equals to 0, dx dt equals to 2. So I will just substitute the information given here to get the answer. So k, I don't know. 10 minus x is a 10. X is 0, so 10, and then 20. Therefore, from here, very easily, you'll get the value of k, which is 0.01. And this is how we get the equation that they want us to show. The differential equation that they want us to show is dx dt equals to 0.01, and then 10 minus x, and also 20 minus x. So I think this part is not really hard. Okay, then now we can proceed to the second part. Okay, so for the second part, they want you to solve the differential equation, and after that they want you to express x in terms of t. Okay, so first of all, I will try to separate it. So from here, you can see that I will want to separate this over to the left, okay, and then the dt to the right hand side. All right, so after I rewrite it, it will become something like this. 1 over 10 minus x, and then 20 minus x dx equals to 0.01 dt. Okay, so once I separate the variable already, then I want to do the integration. Okay, so how to solve the integration? I will just let you to continue about it. But for sure, if you look at the left-hand side here, you need to do partial fraction first. Okay, so for this part, you need to do the partial fraction. I'm not going to show you the detail. Okay, so you just try to figure out yourself for this part. Okay, so you should write as a divided by 10 minus x plus b divided by 20 minus x. So if you continue from here, eventually you should get a equals to 0.01, and then b is equals to negative 0. Sorry, it should be 0.1, not 0.01. Okay, so a is equals to 0.1, and then b is also negative 0.1. So one positive, one negative. All right. Okay, so after you get the partial fraction, substitute it back into the differential equation. Then you need to try and integrate both sides. Correct or not? All right, so when you try to integrate both sides, you should able to get until this step 0.1 ln 20 minus x divided by 10 minus x equals to 0.01 t plus c. All right, so after the integration and then after you try to slightly combine the ln into one ln function, then this is something that you should have. Okay. All right, then now you want to get the value of c, right? You want to get the value of c. Therefore, here you use the information given. T equals to 0, x equals to 0. Okay, so given that t equals to 0, x equals to 0. All right, so if you continue from here, you'll get 0.1 ln 20 divided by 10 equals to c. So your c is equals to 0.1 ln 2. Okay, then now, so you need to think a way how to rephrase your equation become x in terms of t. All right, so I will use some other color here. Okay, so to rephrase it, I put in the value for c first. Excuse me. All right, so this is what we have, and after that, you need to how to say, you need to rephrase it. So I find out that all the 0.1, 0.01, 0.1 here is very troublesome for me. So I will want to simplify them. So if I simplify, I will get ln 20 minus x divided by 10 minus x. That equals to 1 over 10t plus ln 2. Okay? All right. And after that, the ln 2, I can bring it to the left so that it can combine together with the ln. So after I bring it over, it become divided, it become minus, right? So minus means divided by 2 lah. So 10 minus x equals to 1 over 10t. All right, so I want to bring the ln over, and I will have e power t over 10. Okay. All right, then if I continue further, 20 minus x equals to 2e t over 10 multiplied with 20 minus x. Okay, so now from here, I want to group all the x to one side so that I can rephrase it become x equals to something something t. Okay, so from here there are two ways. Okay, for us to simplify, I will show it both method here. Okay, both are also correct one, actually, not wrong. Okay, all right, so now if let's say you want to follow method number 1, then this is how we go. Okay, so if you look at this equation, right, I will expand everything. So I will need to expand everything. Wait, did I make any careless mistake here? I think I made a mistake here, right? This one should be 10. This one also should be 10. Okay. All right. So if I expand everything, I'm having 20 minus x equals to 20 e power t over 10 minus 2x e power 10, t over 10. Not enough space, sorry. So maybe I put it like that, t over 10. Okay, and then from here again, my aim is to group all the x together. So it depends on how you want to move your x. So maybe I move all the x like this, keep it on the left. Then this one I'm having minus 20. Then I can take out the x, which becomes 2e. And then this one I'm having 20e. It looks a bit complicated, right? But you just need to be very careful. All right, so eventually you'll get x equals to 20 e power t over 10 minus 1 divided by 2e t over 10 minus 1. Okay, so this is the answer where you can see that x is equals to something something t. That means you have only x on the left and then some other thing else on the right. Okay, so although all this no need any special technique, but somehow sometimes you can see that the process is a bit complicated and it will make you until like you will feel very worried whether you can get the correct answer or not. But you just need to ensure that you are doing it very carefully. Okay. All right, so this is one of the answer. So some students they might use other method to solve also can. Other method to rephrase also can. I will show you both here. Okay, so maybe if you have third or fourth one, maybe you can send it to me and have a look and see whether your solution is correct or wrong. Okay, so for the second method I can think of is because later in part number 3 in this question they are asking what is the value of x when t become large. So if let's say t become large, then I'm thinking to change this one become a negative power, which means I move it to the left hand side first, so that later for my calculation in part number 3 it is slightly easier. But most of the students they won't think about it, so they will just simplify it by using this method also can one. It doesn't matter, all right. Okay, so if I move it like that, wait now again I'm still making a careless mistake here, so I should have a 2. So 2 10 minus x. All right, so if I simplify, I'm having 20e power negative t over 10 minus x e power negative t over 10, then equals to 20 minus 2x. All right, so again, I still want to keep all the x on the left hand side. Okay, then I can take out the x. That equals to 20, 1 minus e negative t over 10. Then eventually my final answer should be 20. Okay, so another pattern of the answer can be something like this. Both also correct actually. Okay, just that most of the students they will give us this answer lah. And then for me originally I also use this answer. Alright, but for some students if they can foresee that it will be easier for them for the third part calculation, then they might rephrase it like this. Both also correct. Okay, alright. Then now let's have a look for the part number 3. So sometimes for part number 3, from the equation that they want you to show or the final answer that they want you to show or to find, they actually want you to substitute some value into the answer and get some conclusion. So like this part number 3, they are asking what happened to the value of x when t become large. So when they are talking about t become large, means what? Means that t become infinity. Large means infinity, like very, very big value. Okay, so for this kind of question, right, you cannot write t equals to infinity because infinity is not a number. it also only tells you that it become very, very large. So you cannot like just put in some value and then you try error to get a value, cannot. So when you want to substitute, you have to imagine. Okay, so when t become large, usually we'll write like this. So t is a very large value. What happened to the x? Okay, so if you are using this one, okay, this answer, all right, so you should have 20 and then e. Infinity divided by 10, it is still infinity, right? So minus 1 divided by 2e infinity minus 1. Okay, and then this e power infinity is infinity, because if you have a look for the graph of ex, this is the graph of y equals to e power x, right? So when x is infinity, then your graph go up, which is also infinity. So for this question, you will see that it is infinity divided by infinity. It is not equals to 1. Infinity divided by infinity, you don't know, you have no conclusion. All right. So what you can do here is you need to try to simplify it. Okay, so you have to do some other thing to make sure that you won't get infinity divided by infinity. So what can you do now is you try to divide your equation, okay, by e infinity. All right, so if you divide your equation by e infinity, then you have 1 minus 1 over e infinity. Then this one will become 2 minus 1 over e infinity. Okay, and after that, from here, you're able to get 21 minus 0 divided by 2 minus 0, because you should know that 1 divided by infinity, it is 0. So this one is also 0. So end up, what is the final value of your x here? It should be equals to 10. Or it will getting closer and closer to 10 when the time is longer. So that means when the x is formed, the compound x is formed, right? The maximum, how to say, the very maximum gram, the mass that will form for the x is 10 grams. All right, so this is what you have for the first set of the answer. Okay, so another set of the answer So like just now, you need to go through with the step that, because you get both infinity and infinity up and down, right? So it leads to cannot lead to any conclusion. Therefore, you need to do some adjustment by divided both top and bottom part using e infinity. Okay, and that's why you can get something related to 0, then only can get an answer. So this is where you get the answer from the equation, the first answer that you get in the previous part from here. Okay, all right, then how about if let's say in the part number 2, I straight away get this answer already. So if let's say in part number 2, you straight away get this answer, then you will see that your calculation actually become easier, slightly easier. All right, so again, this is for step number 2. If let's say you're having set number 2, when your t is infinity, then x, what happened to the x here? You will get 20 and then 1 minus e negative infinity divided by 2 minus e negative infinity. So what is the value for e negative infinity? So again, if you recall back the graph for e power x, this is y equals to e power x lah. Alright, so when x is negative infinity, means here x is negative infinity. Alright, so your e power negative infinity become very close to 0. Not to say 0 lah, but very, very close to 0. Can see that here, the y is getting closer and closer to the x-axis, which means the value of y getting closer and closer to 0. when e having power negative infinity. That's why this value itself is 0. This value itself is also 0. Alright, so if you simplify from here very easily, you can see that you will get 21 minus 0 divided by 2 minus 0, and then you have 10. Slightly shorter like the steps. Okay, so but both are accepted. Alright, because some students they will ask, Ayo, in exam, how will I know that I need to do such steps to get the answer? But of course, all these are discussions. So when you try more questions and you look for more discussion and more examples, right? Actually, you learn more techniques from there or more ideas from there. Alright, so I'm here to show you how we do it for now. And then maybe in the future when you face something similar, then at least you roughly know you have the idea how to solve it or how to simplify it. Okay? Alright, so this is what we have for this video. I think for example 7, we will cover it in the next video. Alright.